What's going on, YouTube? This your boy King Gabe, and
This is Queen Tina.
we are here with the third installment of the Looney Cinematic Universe, the Space Jam New Legacy. And this song is one of the songs in the credit go. They when I think that's what they were saying when. I know there was a gospel choir singing. Amen.
Well, amen to that.
But before we start, of course, one thing, obviously, make sure if you like this, what you're about to hear, at the end of it, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, hey, look at those two, they were talking about Space Jam and all that, yay. and buy some comics and support us on Patreon. Kind of made me think of Faithless the way I did that there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, second thing before we start, the theory. How do all three of these movies connect? This is the theory that I came up with. Before the first Space Jam movie, many years ago, probably 1930s at least, considering that Porky Pig mentioned about 1935, the Looney Tunes in the universe of these movies lived among us, sort of like the way the Pokemon do in, Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All world. So apparently we lived in a Looney Tune world. And in this world, the Looney Tunes were comedic actors, pretty much like, our actual actors in real life. And eventually, as the 80s came along, a world was created for them underground, where the Warner Brother executives would visit them often. But eventually those visits became less and less until they led to no visits, and during the events of Space Jam, we heard Daffy Duck made this comment. Him and Bugs were talking about the product endorsement.
Hey, you ever see those cups and mugs with our pictures on them and everything? You ever get any money from that?
Not a cent.
Hey, we're getting screwed. We gotta get new agents. Or a better union.
So, yeah, that's why he mentioned about that. After the events of Space Jam and Michael Jordan saved everybody from being enslaved, and of course Bugs got his kiss from Lola. After that, the Loonies decided to march to Warner Brothers, demanding for better treatment for their work, and as well as better pay and union and all that. So these negotiations, much like how union jobs have their meetings and stuff like that, the negotiations eventually led to the development of what we call the Back in Action movie. Lola was cut from the movie, but there was a deal after the movie to give her a spot in shows like Baby Looney Tunes, probably voiceover, since they're full grown, so they're voicing themselves as babies. Sort of like how we voice act things there. A cartoon voicing a cartoon. And the Looney Tunes show. So, and eventually, after the Looney Tunes show, it only lasted 2 seasons. Sometime after that, they ended up getting a new home in the Serververse. And in 2020, Algae Rhythm showed up to separate the tunes in different worlds, leaving Bugs and Marvin the Martian behind, and the events of Space Jam New Legacy occurs.
Yeah, family.
That's what I was about to say is still your theory of the Looney Tunes. It could pass off as an origin story.
In a way, as you can say, in a pretty of course it's kind of short, but yeah, kind of a long extended origin there, you could say.
By your perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, over the course of so many years there.
It's almost like a past, present, and future. The first Space Jam is like the past. The back in action is like the present, and Space Jam: A New Legacy is like the future.
In a way, because it was kind of futuristic in the movie.
Yes. And back in action is like the present, and Space Jam was like the past, since it wasn't back in '96.
That's just one way of seeing it there.
Past, present, future.
Yep. Well, it's definitely one good way of looking at it. And any of you guys have anything to say about that theory? Maybe you got something different in mind. Maybe how you may have felt that it went. Definitely leave it in the comments that way. Hey, maybe we can do a little. Maybe depending on what's left in the comments, Mike could do a discussion. Maybe of how maybe some of your other theories could possibly happen. Yeah.
I know they went to the 90s. They went to 3 different decades. The 1990s, the 2000s. They skipped 2010, and they went on to just 2020 era.
Oh yeah, in the movie wise.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the Looney Tunes shows, like the one that lasted for 2 seasons. I think that was in the 2010 era.
Yeah, it was 2011, but yeah, close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and Baby Looney Tunes was still in the 2000 era.
Right. Yeah, they aired right after Back in Action there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching Baby Looney Tunes in high school there.
I only saw a few episodes, and they were good.
And adorable. Yeah. One of my favorites of that show was Daffy Duck having to learn how to share because he kept saying mine. And another one where he didn't want to give up Mr. Stuffleson's.
And the only Looney Tunes character in Baby Looney Tunes still look the same is Tweety.
Oh yeah, because
it's like he don't age.
He sort of, I guess you could say, Tweety kind of got the Gary Coleman effect.
Yeah.
A little bit there.
And he still talks the same.
I thought I saw a pussycat. I did see a pussycat.
They should just make him as the baby of the group.
Size-wise, yes.
Yeah.
I think and then Gary Coleman, and then, Batman, the animated series, they had a character similar to that, that looked like one of the characters from Tiny Toons.
Yes.
That little girl who was actually...
Elmira.
Right, who was actually a grown lady, but she just looked like a little girl.
Well, if Elmira was blonde.
Oh, yeah. That was the difference, yeah, but pretty similar to it there.
Have you ever heard the show called Webster?
If I heard people call, some kids called me Webster back in high school there constantly.
Well, the person who plays Webster has that same condition that Gary Coleman had.
Oh, okay.
I think that show was back in the 80s. I've heard about it, but I never seen the episode.
So apparently, I guess my high school colleagues were going way back in the 80s to come and like, wow.
Yeah.
That was kind of a twist there.
Yeah.
And I will say another thing with the Looney Tunes logic. So probably would wonder, well, how they be alive all this time? Well, they're Looney Tunes. In a way, Looney Tunes are pretty much their own race of creatures. I would say they split into 2 different types, or like in Digimon Frontier, you had the human Digimon and the beast Digimon. So I guess with Looney Tunes, you have the animal Loonies and the human Loonies.
Like one of the tunes stated, I could survive anything.
Yeah, so they pretty much their lifeline is pretty much like the Asgardians, as Odin say. We look at figures like Thor and Hercules and Zeus and like the gods. And one thing Odin cleared up in the MCU: we are not gods. We live and die as humans do, give or take. And Loki says, give or take about 600-700 years. So yeah, that kind of explains a lot of their lifeline of why they're around as long as they are.
I wish us humans would have the same logics as cartoon characters, like they could just survive anything. If we could survive anything, that means no more death. But it's impossible now. It's always impossible.
Yeah, it's different for us because real world, you know, technically our living forever would be, the time of our body dies out, but our spirit lives on.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of our way of doing it in reality speaking. Yeah.
I know when we are born, the soul and the physical body are one, but when we die, they separate.
Yep.
That's how life goes.
Yep. We live out a particular certain amount of time here and then descend. Yeah. So yeah, there's that there. So now we've discussed the theory. So let's see what the end result this theory has led into for Space Jam: New Legacy. Ooh, so the movie begins, of course, sort of got a Black Panther-like opening, of course, because Ryan Coogler is a director, and he definitely brought elements of Black Panther and little sprinkles of some of the other MCU movies because, Black Panther was, Civil War and, other movies in that phase there. So I'm pretty sure, I know he only directed Black Panther, but I'm pretty sure he probably observed some of the other MCU movies, with alongside, probably observed them and everything. And that would explain some of his direction in Space Jam there.
Except he's except he's doing a Warner Brothers property, not Disney or Marvel.
Well, yeah, but it's still some seeds of it there, like with with LeBron and his son. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one thing. You can always reckon if you've seen a previous work of a director, sometime even if they're directing something completely different from what they may have directed. In a previous project, you're gonna see, no matter how different they are, you're gonna see some similarities in the project, depending on the director. Yeah. So, the Black Panther-like opening I mentioned is with 12-year-old LeBron in 1998, about to play basketball, having this, conversation with his mom who has to go to work and everything. He gets a Game Boy with the Looney Tunes game. I think Black Nerd said it was Looney Tunes Castlevania or something like that.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I guess it was an old GBA game. GB game, sorry, because he played on the Game Boy.
I know we only saw his mom, but it makes you wonder where his dad's at.
Sometimes you just see that, Sometimes it's a personal matter.
Either that, or he's just raised as in a single parent family, just his mom.
Well, yeah, but whatever may have happened with the dad may be a personal issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And left to the fans to figure it out.
Pretty much, and a lot of us probably have this. It's not really a big surprise to us. A lot of people probably know what that's like.
Yeah.
So, coach scolds him after, for losing the game. Well, actually, yes for that. But one thing he states is that what he's really upset about is not so much just losing the game alone, but the fact that LeBron didn't seem like he was focused. And one of the things he states is, you gotta, these distractions, referring to his Game Boy, the distraction, you gotta. In a way, his intention is trying to, bring out the best of LeBron's potential because he's got real good basketball talent, and trying to maximize what he has with his talent. Also stating about apparently him and his mom you know, Miss Ma, because he mentioned about his mom working a lot. Mentioned like, you know, you get good with this man, you be able to help your mom out and everything. You know, get be able to really shine for her and shape your future. So, you know, it's real. I mean, you can't really fault the coach where he's going with what he's saying. Even if it's a little aggressive, but you can't fault him completely about this. But one thing he probably didn't realize was going to happen was LeBron throwing the Game Boy in the trash, and growing up the way he does, in the movie with his son there, both his son, but yeah, it focuses more with the youngest boy.
I felt like, as a boy, he felt like he took that advice personally. That's why he just threw the Game Boy in the trash. There's no saying kids learn what they live.
Right.
And he took that same advice in his adulthood to his own children.
Right.
And was aggressive with it.
Yeah, and like I say, the coach probably, and like I mentioned, in the coach defense, he probably did not intend for him, to be that way. His intention was just pretty much trying to bring it back, because a lot of time coaches and especially military drill sergeants there, and a lot of times coaches sometimes get like that. He'd be like, "Come on, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up."
Same goes with parents and teachers.
Pretty much. I had a gym teacher that was pretty much a former military sergeant.
Ooh.
Yeah, my 8th grade coach. Yeah, he was like I say, he wasn't. They're not bad people. Don't sometimes we hear how they be acting. We be like, oh, why they be so mean? But they're not bad people or trying to be mean. But this is just kind of their way of trying to get the best out of people there. Mm-hmm. Their way of, positively shaping the youthful generation, yeah. But, we do, but a lot of time, we overlook certain things in our efforts, and it's an honest mistake, yeah. So, now, one thing I will say about the Game Boy thing, if I was in LeBron's position, nothing on the coach. Coach is fine. But if I was taking what the coach said seriously like LeBron did and, felt the way he did, I probably would I would not have thrown it in the trash. I probably would have still carried it home, but I probably would have eventually just sold it or pawned it off. And yeah, I know he got it from a friend, but taking those words in like that to heart, I would have pawned it off. Especially he mentioned about, trying to help your mom out, because first thing come to my mind was Daddy Daycare, when Eddie Murphy's character got his job back and quit Daddy Daycare because he back in the office and everything, and like son, I'll be able to provide and everything, bring you all kind of good toys and everything. And the first thing the son says, 4 years old, I would sell all my toys. Why would you sell all your toys? Because then you'll have time. Because then you won't have to work and you'll have time to play with me.
Aww.
So that's the way I would look at, taking something like that to heart. Because yeah, that's a waste of a Game Boy. Yeah. So if you're thinking in terms of helping your mom, that would kind of come to mind like, okay, probably need to help with the finance. So maybe I need to get a little something for that. That would be my thing. And probably some other things I probably would sell, thinking that they're distractions. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, yeah. We know what it's going to result to, but yeah, in that mindset, that's what I would have done.
I know if it was a teenage perspective, the teenager would say, "I would just get a job in order to help out."
Oh yes. We had a case of that in the Tyler Perry play.
Yes.
Tyler Perry play, and a movie that borrowed from that play. What's Done in the Dark play.
Yeah.
Like, Mama, I'm going to help you out. He sung a whole song about it there. Yeah. Good. Please, Mama, let me help you. and also and of course they did something like that with the movie Meet the Brown, where they tried to put elements of that play in there. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, I do. Yeah, that's an example of what you just mentioned with the teenager aspect.
I did have a part-time job just babysitting, and I don't get paid like $5 an hour, and it was just short-lived.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I still wanna work like outside of babysitting, like a fast food joint or even a retail place, but my parents wouldn't let me because they want me to focus more on just passing that high school exit exam in order for me to just graduate high school. That's their main focus, as well as just education in general. Instead of just finding work, instead of just getting a job.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, because I mean, the viewpoint of everybody, parent, teacher, and stuff like that is different for everybody of how, they see of the best for the child there. So I mean, that's understandable. Like I mentioned with the coach, he had his viewpoint of LeBron being successful, So yeah, very very understandable and realistic there. Yeah.
I would just help myself and my mom out if I did have a job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would help myself and my mom out.
It'd be like a female version of the sun and What's Done in the Dark.
Yes.
Yep.
And I know I would have a lot of references in my resume.
I would say that I would now. Don't hate me, everybody. I would say the same as her. But at the time that I was in high school, I did get an after school job now, but that was because my folks kind of pushed me to get that. And I said, okay, I get an after school job, but on my own, I still had that kid-like motive. I was, goofing around and, goofing around, playing and stuff like that. So, yeah, my maturity was not quite up to that point yet, without being pushed to do it there. But, but it is good that I did get pushed to that because, where I'm at now. So, some cases, some cases, if you're like me, you kind of need a little push to get that responsibility out of you. Sometimes you do need what that coach was doing to LeBron. You got, just saying, I guess coach probably would have been on my case too.
Same goes for a person who just procrastinates a lot.
True. Yeah, that's why I say the coach would have probably been on my case. He probably would. I think he would have came on me harder than LeBron.
Oh.
He was, considering how, like I said, the mindset I had there. Yeah. So yeah. So that was my confessions, like Usher. So after all that there, we get just like with Michael Jordan, we get an homage of LeBron rising to success, including an Obama cameo. Yes, we can.
I bet that was a clip like a few years back when Obama was president.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a lot of that was probably some stuff. I mean, because they probably both him and Michael, a lot of those were probably stock footage clips that they put together for the movie.
They must have got these off the internet.
And then they added those little effects, make it like those magic effects there.
Yeah.
And and then they even got the upgrade Space Jam logo. Love it.
It's 3D now.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice if the entire movie wasn't 3D.
Oh yeah.
When it was released in the theaters, but they didn't get that.
Guess they didn't think about that there.
Well, it was released on both theaters and HBO Max.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and we actually did go. I think we did go see it in the theaters.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause I remember took our little friend Nisha with us there. See. So then we meet up with LeBron's sons, the younger son Don, who wants to be a video game designer, but of course LeBron wants, he wants both of them, but yeah, he's more so Don. The oldest one, he like, I want y'all to focus on basketball. Oldest one, like, okay. Yeah, sure, okay, basketball. Don, want to do his own thing with the video game. Now, understand this. Don does not hate basketball. He likes it as well. He likes it like the other brother, but he has a different mindset toward it. More so, just have fun. More so than trying to get like a competitive, and more focused with, of course, the video game, which is one reason why his game that he's designing is a basketball game, but more like a fantasy basketball there. With style points and all that.
I have thought of this, but the older son and younger son remind me of Joey and Kaiba. The older son has Kaiba, and the younger son and Joey has the younger son.
Oh, really?
The reason why, because Kaiba always thinking about winning all the time, and Joey always thinking about just having a fun.
Yeah, that's true. Because and that because that video I showed that I was listening to yesterday.
Yeah, I just thought that at random. It just came to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a video I had playing. Yeah, that's actually, I didn't think about that there, but I guess you could say more of a and also maybe reason I say laid back version of Kaiba, but still competitive. Cause Kaiba now similar like you mentioned, like his dad, let's win. But one difference kind of between the older son and Kaiba is their attitude there.
Yes.
Yeah, because Kaiba would have been, I don't know, LeBron. Seto would have probably been on Don's case even more so than Daddy. It would have been two people on his neck.
And so, I know he hates to lose. I'm talking about Kaiba.
Oh yes, because especially that duel him and Joey had when Joey destroyed his blue eyes and then revived it on his side of the field. Wheeler! How dare you take my blue-eyed white dragon? I would rather see it in the grave than under your control.
I know in Joey's case, his motive is if you first don't succeed, just try again. Mm-hmm. Like, he's used to losing. He always tries again. It doesn't bother him.
And that's why
he doesn't give up.
And that's why he comes back again. And the only thing that only thing I think that makes Joey upset more so than the losing. Sometimes losing does upset him just a little bit, but I think the thing that really upsets him is when his opponent is kind of a butthole, like Mr. Pinky, Siegfried.
Yes.
Yeah, he was trying to be nice, like hey, we're finna duel each other. I'm Joey. How you doing? Hey man, I'm trying to be nice to you before you have a friendly match.
Well, Siegfried's main focus is just the game as well as just beating Joey in order for him to win.
Pretty much.
All he thinks about is just winning.
And trying to show up Kaiba.
Have you ever heard the old saying, I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to win.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
In some cases, I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to work.
Yep. And also see it too.
Yeah.
Yep. That was. I like you bring that up there.
Yes.
I like you bring that up. Yeah.
It's just at random.
Yeah, I like it though. Would make it really make the talk pop.
What's next? LeBron will be goes of Bora.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that he was kind of strict, but Gozaboro kind of was straight up evil.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I put it this way: Gozaboro was really rude. I don't think the sons would have won. I think both of them sons would have been suffering under Gozaboro.
I don't know who's worse, Gozaboro or the evil stepmother from Cinderella.
Probably the stepmother from Cinderella.
Oh.
Because even the critic was scared of her. Those eyes. Yep. Oh, silence! Hold your tongue. So after a moment with the father and the sons and focus. We introduce to John Cheeto playing the villain as Algae Rhythm in the Serververse. And what's his big motive playing? He wants to capture LeBron James and get ultimate recognition and respect. Look out, King James. It's time to play.
Algae Rhythm. It sounds like algorithm.
And actually it is. I think he may have came up with that little nickname by himself there.
Algae Rhythm.
Yeah.
If it was a female version of him, it'll be Alice G Rhythm. Or just Alice Rhythm.
Who do you think would probably play a female version of him?
Trying to think. Maybe the lady from Black Panther who is one of the Dojis, but she would have hair.
Oh, talking about the main Doji?
Yeah, either her or the lady from Us, one of them.
I would probably go with the lady from Us because of how she was able to play her doppelganger.
Yes.
Yeah, she would probably scare you. But yeah, I mean, as a villain, yeah, you kind of want to be scary.
Alice Rhythm.
And then she could switch to sort of a jokey side too, just like he did. Like, yeah.
She will still have the G initials. It could be Alice G Rhythm or Alice Rhythm.
Sounds like that would be an interesting mix there.
Yeah, if it was a female version.
Yep. So later then, LeBron and Don, they go to Warner Brothers, who are trying to get LeBron into a movie deal, and which is of course plotted by Algae. You know, LeBron versus Batman. LeBron and the Chamber of Secrets. And you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home. You're digitally put in here. Kind of like how you notice there are some movies where they digitalize your face on the character.
Like Back in Action with Michael Jordan.
Oh, but only difference is being in 2020, it'll be they probably would do it a lot better than that little Photoshop edit. Yeah, he probably would have somebody like with one of them CGI suits and dub Michael Jordan over him, sort of like they do with Banner and the Hulk. Yeah, in real life, you see Mark Ruffalo with a suit on, but then you look at the movie. I put the brain in the bronze. I wear shirts now.
I know it's his CGI suit in spandex.
All spandex.
And you notice he wore some shorts.
Oh yeah.
Because you know what.
Oh yeah, what Hulk has to wear. Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, but.
Oh yeah, with the protect. Yeah. Sort of like when people wear their workout those spandex work outfits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, need something to cover that over.
Yeah.
It all depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing gets exposed.
Yeah. Don't want none of that there. So apparently LeBron declines and sort of insults Algae a little bit. Of course, in his defense, he just see it as, well, it's just a computer program. Yeah, but apparently LeBron has not watched it. Apparently LeBron must not been exposed to shows like Digimon or he did know about the Matrix. But I guess maybe he wasn't exposed to shows like Digimon there
or any other anime in general.
that involves living computer data. Yeah, yeah, and this makes Algie getting angry with him until Don compliments him and mentions about wanting to go to video game camp, but LeBron's like, "No, you got basketball camp." And then we get that moment like we've seen in a lot of the trailers leading up to this movie. You don't let me be me, dude. That Will Smith never had this problem with his kids.
Don't get me started. That was Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson.
Oh my God! I don't think that compared to Joe Jackson, LeBron would be Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's hard. He's like you say, being hard on him. But see, Joe Jackson,
He's forceful.
yeah, a lot of y'all probably already know that, but I read in the autobiography of Michael Jackson once that there was a day Michael Jackson came home late for practice, and the minute he got in the house, out of nowhere, Joe Jackson shoved him into the drum set.
Ooh. Ouch.
As a way of trying to teach him a lesson.
For coming in late.
Really? Hey,
Like, this what you get for coming in late. Just push you to the drum set.
yeah, I mean, I know there's that whole thing, spare the rod, spoil the child thing, but yeah, that don't. They didn't say abuse your child into instruments.
Or just abuse a person in general for being late.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know in real life you don't do that. Abuse a person for being late. You get fired for that.
Exactly, and if in this day and time where we are really where it's really buckled down on that child abuse thing.
Yes.
Joe might not be around much longer if he was raising the Jacksons in this day and time.
Yeah, if somebody witnessed that, they will report it.
It would have been more likely that it would have happened. Facebook video. Joe pushes Michael.
Oh.
Yeah.
Social
Instagram.
media.
Yeah, Instagram. It's on Twitter. Hey, y'all see this? Yeah.
They will find out some way somehow.
Yep. So this little moment ends up leading them to going into the room that sends LeBron and Don into the serververse. And that's when LeBron meets up with Algie Rhythm doing a reference to the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. Who dares come to the serververse? Say, gotcha.
At least it's better than Kazam when he raps. Who dares to wake me? Imagine if Algie Rhythm tries to rap.
Who? Actually, I would not be surprised if he did, considering the way his character was, because he had those jokey moments. So he probably, if Don Cheeto had thought of that,
Yeah.
he might would have done it. He might, if maybe like, hey, can I do a rap? Can I do a quick little rap session just for some jokes?
Hey, imagine Shaq as Algie Rhythm. Shaquille O'Neal as the villain.
Oh, who dares disturb my serververse? He would be tall. I guess him and LeBron probably be close to the same height, or he might be a little taller considering how tall Shaq is.
Yeah. It's a darn shame that Shaq didn't make a cameo appearance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If Kobe was alive during the Space Jam movie, he would have made a cameo too.
Possibly, yeah, they would. I don't know where they would put him, but yeah, they would have probably appeared at somewhere there.
Maybe it's a possibility he might have been seen in some of the small snippets at the beginning of the film.
Oh, yeah.
When they show parts of LeBron's clips.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the random clips of LeBron. He might be in some of the snippets.
Well, I think I may have appeared somewhere in that crowd somewhere. I kind of get around in different things, commercials and extra stuff. I just want something to do.
Yeah, you just have to pay attention closely.
Yeah, he does. He does just like to do random things to get out of the house, you know.
Yeah, I think LeBron and Kobe were friends.
Oh, really?
I think they were better.
Oh, I think he did. I think he said something when Kobe had passed there.
Yeah.
I think he did say. I think LeBron had some passing words on his behalf there.
And I know Shaq was also Kobe's friend too.
Yeah. I know Shaq was. He was sort. I think Shaq was sort of like big brother to Kobe.
I think I remember I saw a painting of what they were like if they grew old together.
Oh yeah.
A fan painting.
Oh.
Of what they like if they grew old together.
Yeah, they was like a couple of brothers there. He always said, Kobe, you gotta be careful with all this stuff going on. You gotta be careful, Kobe. I keep telling you, you better be careful.
I guess Shaq has to grow old alone.
Well, without him,
Without Kobe.
Oh yeah. I guess now he got the general there.
Yeah.
Go to the general and say some time.
It wouldn't surprise me if he made 100 general commercials. 100 of them.
Ain't no telling that, and probably some other commercials too.
Yeah, he needs to pay the bills somehow for his retirement.
Mm-hmm. Even if it means eating spicy wings.
Or pizza.
Shaq pizza. So, and with the joke with what Dodgy was like, psych! You should have seen your face. You were like, oh!
LeBron admits that he was claustrophobic.
Oh, yeah.
So I admit I can't be claustrophobic too when it comes to elevators, since I don't like using the elevator.
I kind of wonder. I wonder if that's true though in real life, because you remember when Marlon Wayne mentioned about him being lactose intolerant in Wayne Brothers. There, he actually was lactose intolerant in real life. So I wonder if maybe LeBron is actually claustrophobic there.
He can be, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Never know. Yeah, sometimes they do carry a little bit of seeds of their. I mean, sort of like with my character Hiko, with the ADD thing,
Or same goes with my character Bubbleina.
Oh yeah.
It's based off of me, of what I like and dislike.
And with a little Sailor Moon seasoning.
It wouldn't surprise me if she got trapped in a whale's mouth.
Oh.
And she gets scared.
Oh,
Trapped in a whale's mouth like Moby Dick.
And I guess the other girls would have to try to get her out of there.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just a thought.
I think that may happen. We will. But
and it's dark in there.
But only she will know.
Yeah.
Only she would know. Only way I'll know is when I get the rough draft and okay, this is what I illustrate. I just illustrate what she writes. So apparently, and I think the way that jokey side of the way Don Cheadle played is sort of like when he played his character in Fresh Prince there. Sort of like Will Smith brought Fresh Prince into the genie. So he actually did, because he mentioned that in an interview. So Al-G then kidnaps Dunn in order to challenge LeBron to a basketball game. You and me playing basketball? Hey, you didn't want to be in the movies, so I play on your turf. Yeah, I admit that's an interesting way of bringing this to basketball, though. I actually that's a lot of props to bring this to basketball there. And so then LeBron is sent to Toon World as a Toon in order to get a team together.
I know Al-G Ritter mentioned that, sent him to the Rejects.
Yeah, and a lot of an old friend of mine was like, well, why he calling the Looney Tunes the Reject? Oh, well, I think she felt like the movie was referring to the Looney Tunes. But see, it's the character Al-G, And when you hear the whole backstory between him and the Tunes leading up to what's happening in the movie, Yeah, it makes sense why he calls them that there. Cause, yeah, I guess he's referring to Bugs and Marvin the Martian because they didn't do like he asked. So, LeBron, and of course when LeBron crashes there, I think you pointed out about him crashing to the ground.
Yeah, and when he crashes into the ground, you see a Nike logo. The Nike logo.
Because I may have saw that but didn't really think much of it. But yeah, it was like, it was a Nike logo. I was like, Nike logo? Oh, well, it's right there. And he comes out, and my favorite joke when he first becomes a tune, I'm sure to give it hard.
Oh.
So then he meets up with Bugs Bunny. Bug! Bring it here, man.
Yeah.
And of course, it is it's good that they have a little new flavor here. Like I said, not in the first movie, still good, but it's good. I'm glad that they put new flavor for a sequel. First movie, the Tunes were coming to Michael Jordan for help. Here, LeBron is coming to the Tunes for help. Mainly, he's coming to Bugs Bunny at first, and then this leads to the other Tunes, yeah. Because Al G sent him to the Toon World, yeah, first. Not by his choice, though. Yeah, and then, of course, Bugs explains why he's all alone when he mentions about Al G Rhythm, and Bugs mentions about how Al G separated all of them, like in the theory I mentioned earlier. But Bugs stayed behind, and later we find out Marvin the Martian also stayed behind. And yes, we have to discuss the elephant in the room that, you know, when he's looking at the picture, like, family. And you notice that Pepe Le Pew's not in there and nothing is said about him. Well, yes. The elephant in the room is that they took Pepe Le Pew out because they thought he was a pedophile for chasing the female cat there. Yeah. And yet, oh yeah, he's bad. But a Rick and Morty cameo is A-okay.
You know, I find this absurd. Taking out Pepe Le Pew and keeping Morgan. That, you know what I mean? That
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
And then here's the thing that I found out from one of the friends I used to work with. Pepe Le Pew wasn't really French at the beginning of the Looney Tunes history. He was an actor playing a Frenchman, so you pretty much put an actor out of his job. Now that we've discussed the elephant in the room, the thing that everybody knows, because I know if I don't mention it, it'd be like, wait, Pepe Le Pew. So we mentioned that.
And I know Bugs mentioned that. We are all back together, like all, except there's no Pepe Le Pew. I mean, like all as a whole, all the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm. I think the executives.
It's like he's blindsided.
I think the executives may have told him to say that. Now, here's the now, that's the reality. Here's the in-universe thing. You remember, like, with the Power Rangers when Jason, Trini, and Zach's actors were let go? You know, they had all that stuff with the union behind the scenes and wanting more money and other stuff that probably happened. They didn't show up, and then they got those 3 new actors, Rocky, Aisha, and Adam. And in the show, they covered it up with, we're sending them to a peace conference. So the cover, I think, for Pepe Le Pew dates back to Back in Action when we saw his cameo in France. He probably, even though, I mentioned he's an actor, he played a Frenchman, he's not really French, but after playing a Frenchman for so long, oh, my darling, after doing that for so long, I would say after the Looney Tunes show. After the Looney Tunes show, Pepe Le Pew probably, told the other Tunes, like, hey, we've had, I decided I'm just gonna, hang up my cape with all this and just chill out in France, I feel at home there. And so they probably had said goodbye to Pepe Le Pew after the Looney Tunes show, and yeah, it was just all with the rest of them there. And yeah, probably the executives told Bugs to, say all of us as a family and not mention anything about that. So yeah, but my cover-up theory is probably that Pepe Le Pew just decided to stay in France after the Looney Tunes show.
You know that red furry character?
Gozamore.
I think he takes
Pepe
place
Le Pew's
of Pepe.
place.
Yeah, I think he's taking place of Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, probably so.
Gozamore. I wonder if he wasn't in the first Space Jam.
He may. If he was, he may have probably been in the audience.
That's one of the extras.
Possibly, yeah, I think so. Like sort of like that bull that jumped out and hit one of the monsters.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, there's that. So also Bugs. There's also one thing to point out about how sad Bugs is. With the picture with the picture and everything. Like, yeah, family. Is also an example of how comedy masks over tragedy, because he's all before then, he's all doing this usual jokey thing, TNT and all that. Then you find out he's talking to pumpkins that he calls Porky. So yeah, sometimes comedy masks our tragedies in life. Sometimes the saying can be said with comedians sometimes. A lot of times when comedians be telling stuff about their life, there'll be some things they tell that's actually probably was not funny when it happened to them, but they'll get on stage and like, yeah, I went through this, and get a laugh out of it. So like, Mike Epps, when he talked about his experience in special ed class and how he was treated there. Yeah. Hey, you take a nap. No, you take a nap. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, and after the situations are explained, they get the attention of Marvin the Martian in order to swipe his spaceship, and you're probably wondering why they would even swipe the spaceship in the first place when he was working with them in the first Space Jam movie. And I think he also appeared in the Looney Tunes show too. Well, after the Looney Tunes show, I think that Marvin the Martian probably, and he may have had this after Back in Action, but they probably just didn't say nothing about it in the Looney Tunes show, and they just, worked through it. Because how sometimes, how in sitcoms, you see the actors doing their thing, playing their roles and stuff. But behind the scenes, there might be something else going on. So I think probably behind the scenes between Back in Action and the Looney Tunes show, Marvin may have had a fallout with some of the tunes, and especially Bugs there. Probably, but see, they probably just, acted like nothing was going on throughout the Looney Tunes show and just did their job and everything. But yeah, after Looney Tunes show, yeah, Marvin's probably like, screw you, Bugs. And that's why, yeah, he didn't, hey Marvin, you want to play basketball with us? That's my theory cover up of that. Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like sitcoms behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're probably not on speaking terms. Yeah.
Talk about Marvin the Martian and Bugs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Bugs just took a spaceship without his permission.
Yep. And did his little usual trick. And also when there's a picture, it may not show up too well on here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Where Bugs' teeth look like a sword when they're put together. He's got yeah, I kind of noticed that there. So then LeBron and Buzz go to assemble the Toon Squad. So like assembling the Avengers. We meet Daffy Duck and Porky Pig in the DC world, where Daffy's Super Duck and trying to, he has Porky cause a train wreck so he could look like a hero. Yeah, really, Daffy. This is gonna get me to the Justice League penthouse. And we also get Bat Bunny. You know, Bugs dressed up like Bat Bunny. And LeBron's like, Robin? What? I'm freaking Robin?
The Justice League penthouse. I thought it was the Watchtower.
We're talking. I think Daffy may have got his information wrong.
Oh.
I think he must have got mixed up in the info. So, yeah, that ain't gonna work out so well because it ends up causing havoc until the real Superman stops it.
And the other Justice League members came.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Batman?
Well, we do see him in the audience of the game, though.
Oh.
Adam West Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they did, for some reason, they had Batgirl there. So then we see Roadrunner and Coyote and Mad Max, which a lot of people have stated that they seem like they felt at home in that world. And Elmer Fudd and Sylvester and Austin Bow, yeah, baby.
And they made Sylvester as a hairless cat.
Which was kind of freaky.
We've seen Sylvester hairless before and back in action in a brief clip.
Oh yeah, when that car ran past them.
We only saw it briefly. But in New Legacy, you only see like more than a minute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without his fur. He looked definitely weird.
Yes, he did.
I understand if he was old like this, if he was an old age, with the lack of fur.
Oh yeah.
But he's still a young cat.
Then of course we get Yosemite Sam in Casablanca. And of course, I mentioned it earlier, so I ain't gonna rant it again. Rick and Morty's cameo, and they deliver Taz, saying that they've experimented on him. He's all yours now, dum-dums!
I bet they want to say something else.
Yeah, obviously.
They want to go PG-13 or R-rated, but they can't. Because they're in a kid movie.
Yeah, they're allowed, but not Pepe Le Pew.
It would surprise me if kids watch Rick and Morty behind their parents' back.
In this day and time, I would not be surprised. And honestly, it may not be so much behind the parents' back, because I've seen parents take their kids to Deadpool. Little elementary kids. Oh, Deadpool. Hey, come on, kid. Deadpool and Logan.
Don't get me started with Get Out.
There was some kids in there, too.
They say an R-rated horror flick. I know they would have nightmares.
And that's not even a superhero film either. Hey, really? That's today's time for you.
Well, you can't. No kid allowed under 17 without a parent in an R-rated movie.
I guess the parents say, "Well, we're adults, so come on in." Then we see Foghorn and Harry Potter, and then of course Grady and Speedy in the Matrix, where Speedy does a Neo reference.
What's happening, bro?
I know Granny had a different voice. Can a lady check her Twitter?
Oh boy.
I know that's not the same voice actress from the original.
Oh yeah, probably not.
I bet the original may have passed.
Yeah. Well, it would have been funny if she said, if they said Tweety by mistake. Yeah, and it's kind of although seeing Granny kick butt in the Matrix kind of references what she mentioned about her being a World War spy in the Looney Tunes show back in their young days there. And that was also how she met Sylvester and Tweety, which ties in really well with the show Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
So yeah, they got a pretty good little connection maker there. So, and of course, speaking of Tweety, Well, Sylvester spits him out after all of them together. And Tweety must have been in there a long time. And he's like,
What year is it?
He looked paranoid.
it's like, what is this, Ant-Man when Superman got up in his cafe and Ant-Man I thought he was never gonna leave. How long have you been there? I have seen things.
So Sylvester was able to eat Tweety? He was able to eat him?
But Toon Magic didn't allow him to digest.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's kind of good. Why do you even try?
And LeBron looked at him weird like, what?
I'd be looking at him weird too.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh. Oh boy. Oh, and then of course there is Lola Bunny, who is with the Amazons and Wonder Woman. And yeah, of course, you know, they have to try to get her to the Lola!
The Wonder Woman in the movie sound like the one from the 52 version, or
Oh really?
I think the current version. I'm talking about the animated version.
Oh, from Justice League series.
Yeah, well, the movies.
Oh, you think she's
From
talking about
52. Yeah, the 52 movies.
that Wonder Woman.
Who's voiced by a black lady.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It might be the same voice actor.
You never know. Have to look that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that the team's assembled there, team is assembled. We then see a moment of Al G talking to Dom about assembling his basketball team, and also against LeBron, and also trying to train the Looney Tunes, who are kind of out of practice, which is kind of understandable after 25 years. You know, since they played, a major basketball game like this. But meanwhile, in the real world, LeBron's publicist has a really tough time with this security guard that sound like he stepped out of a Tyler Perry film. See, it's like a Tyler Perry actor mixed with Jamaica Snuggie. Cut the camera off. No, I gotta be in my prime. I've secured things, and that is how I do. I went to school for 6 years of this. Well, you cut the camera off, and there's a method to that. It's like, oh man, I got the funniest story to tell you. I'm in a tunnel. God, he ain't in no tunnel. He in here harassing me instead of out there trying to find your husband. He is out there. You need to get out there and find the bros. And next thing you know, wifey really shows up. Like, you got 0 seconds to cough up information on LeBron.
And I know 0 seconds is not enough. 0 seconds means now.
Yeah, and that oldest boy looking like, ooh, you in trouble. So meanwhile, back with Algae Rhythm, he tries to, in getting Don to go up against his father, pretty much sort of like a Black Panther against Killmonger type of thing. And there's the whole talk about power and everything, and which really shows the seeds of Black Panther in the MCU there. And then, of course, it's game time. It's game time. Everybody gets sucked into their phone. He turns to Toon's CGI, sort of remind you of Detective Pikachu. And Daffy's like, I look expensive. And the audience arrives along with Warner Brothers franchise characters and people from the real world.
And Daffy Duck mentioned that with a crowd like this, I know the lines in the bathroom will be insane.
Oh, the bathroom will be the least of his worries.
Ouch.
And then of course, he even and people might wonder, like, well, how is he able to just teleport people into the digital realm? Well, if you're like me and you've grown up with shows like Digimon that involve going between the real and digital world, this should not be much of a surprise to you in the world of fantasy. It shouldn't be at all.
Yeah, I know one of people who was from the audience. I think he was a sports announcer, and he said, "What's this? Is this heaven? Did I die? Am I in heaven?"
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the heaven is paved with gold and Looney Tunes. Yeah, that's what heaven looks like.
I thought heaven was supposed to be with clouds.
Yeah,
Clouds as well as angels.
Think you might have got the heaven perspective mixed up.
As well as the man upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus.
Yeah, I think he got his perspective mixed up there.
Yeah.
And of course, the family gets taken into the serververse, getting VIP, sort of like VIP tickets at Tinseltown.
And seats redeemed, meaning they're not going to take no more people.
And there's a part where Malik tries to go in there. Hey Siri, zap me into you. Okay, don't want to say nothing now. It said that, normally Siri would have spoke out, though. Yep, I'm not sure I understand that. So, of course, once they're in there, Al discusses, about the game and everything, and he says that if LeBron loses, everybody's going to be trapped there. Daffy's like, oh, well, at least we'll be okay. Oh, when the tunes get deleted. You had to open your big beak. And he gets slapped by Granny, who I think is not only slapping him for the comment, but I think also because of what happened to her 25 years ago when Daffy caused a dog pile on her by passing the ball to her.
Well, she has the memory of an elephant.
And they never forget.
I bet kids have the same memory like an elephant. They never forget. Kids.
Yeah, it's possible.
Depending on the kid. Sometimes they never forget their past.
Oh boy.
And they carry on their past into adults.
Mm-hmm. So now it's Toon Squad versus the Goon Squad this time.
Goon Toon.
Kind of rhymed a little bit. Goon Squad members, we got White Mamba, the Snake Woman, Wet Fire, Fire and Water, Arachnica, Spider Woman, Queen of the Web.
The way that Spider looked like she's from Africa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the way they put the spots on her face, it's like she's from Africa.
Well, they did have an African spider hero in Static Shock.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Brow and Eagle Man, and they're all there by Dom. Now, one thing, if you pay close attention in the movie, there's these little glowy things around a lot of them in the internet. Sort of makes you think of things like Black Panther, with the vibranium and stuff. Doctor Strange and Mysterio from Spider-Man also WandaVision. Yep. So then the game begins, and with all the abilities that Don and his team have, this puts the Toons at a disadvantage. More so because LeBron tells them not to be loony, which makes it even worse and worse. And there's even a moment where LeBron argues with Pete about some of the stuff going on, kind of like an actual player arguing with the ref in real life. Except
it's family friendly instead of real world.
Oh yeah.
But when in the real world they just cussed him out.
Yeah.
They possibly hit them.
Yeah, I think Nostalgia Critic kind of gave a good example of the realistic version of that in his Cats and Dogs review.
Yeah.
When he was joking about Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll notice in the audience, there are a lot of shots where you'll see Mr. Freeze go...
Like he's enjoying this game.
And he looks like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Freeze. And if... it's probably not him, but if that was him, oh my goodness. We get to play Mr. Freeze and now it's your Space Jam.
We also got the mask and the penguin.
Oh yeah.
Smokey.
And one of the Amazons.
And the Adam West Batman and Robin. So then we get Chrome Dome introduced during the game, which pretty much does the Roadrunner like what the evil, as you called them, the evil Flash did to Static and Gear.
Yeah.
And even managed to make LeBron into the pirate from SpongeBob.
Imagine him in the intro.
Hey, are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Cap. I can't hear you. Oh. And don't get can you show me how to tie my shoe? Hey man, I'm just a painting of a head. And also the second SpongeBob movie when they was battle rapping with that whale.
Yeah.
Like, hey, cut it out. You're making the movie too long. So the Tunes now feel devastated, and Sylvester brings out Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah. We can't wait.
I feel his power.
I can hear his shoes.
Ew. That's Michael B. Jordan.
What?
It's like, hey, how could you think they look nothing alike? I thought he aged gracefully.
What?
What? So, well, it is true that us black folks, we stay young a long time.
It all depends on how they take care of themselves.
I don't know if Michael has grown any hair over the years, though.
He's still bald.
Yeah,
We still see. I think we saw him recently, and he's still bald.
yeah, kind of like I'm keeping myself bald.
Yeah. But you still have the beard.
Oh yeah, that stays.
Yeah. It's obvious that my hair stays.
Oh yes. So then there's even a team dispute, sort of like the Avengers little dispute there.
Except the scene doesn't go upside down.
Oh yeah.
Would be nice. It would be cool if it did.
I guess if it went on a little longer, it would have helped there.
But the drama didn't last.
Because LeBron then realized that he has to let the Tunes be the Tunes as well as his son be his son. So then Bugs walks up to him like a little child. Do what you guys do. And that leads to the Looney Tune antics there. That starts to catch them back up, pull them up from the bottom, which even includes the Porky Pig rap of Notorious P.I.G. And a lot of people complained about this rap, but honestly, what is the problem? Because the only thing I see is pretty much no different than a lot of the hip-hop that's in Space Jam in general, including Bugs' rap from the first Space Jam soundtrack, "You Buggin'." And to me, this kind of makes me think of Mushmouth when he rapped in Fat Albert.
I don't know what I'm saying.
Like, huh?
I do a lot of things. I wanna hold my thing. Wanna just shake my thing. Like, nah, hibbity boo.
Yeah, I know. That's Mushmouth speak. Until that little girl told him how to speak. Balloon, 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 balloon. So of course then, with all that there, you get to see all kinds of different stuff. You even have one scene where LeBron speaks Taz, sort of like Cap speaking to the Hulk. Smash. LeBron, hey Taz. And then while Wile E. Coyote is able to summon multiple basketballs with his Acme machines. And Granny faces Chrome Dome, aging him into an old man, and even gets a senior discount bonus.
Aged him to 132 years.
She is the one. Duh. So suddenly Algae Rhythm gets very angry and starts fussing at his team.
I think there was one scene where he was wearing a red sweater like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he kept changing his outfits.
Yeah.
And of course, when he was Fuss, in his case, he was doing a more realistic version of a team argument, but they censored him, though, with the Jerry Springer beat. A beep, beep.
I think they would uncensor if it was PG-13 or R.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if they were going by SpongeBob Live, they would have had dolphin chirps and all other kind of sound effects. Like, oh my! Can't you see I got a beep on there? Oh, bump, bump, bump. Oh, Lord, and I heap it up in a dump. Oh, the boy. We're gonna tell your mom, Mr. Krabs. So. Well, I guess they won't be able to tell Algae's mama, though. So eventually, LeBron then apologizes about being so hard on Don and not letting him be himself. Don accepts the apology and leaves the goons for the Tunes. And Algae Rhythm takes things in his own hands. And he, as a new captain, and even insults King Kong. King Kong ain't got nothing on me!
Who's next? He got to insult Optimus Primal from Beast Wars?
Well, that's just Prime.
I know he would say something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying he would say.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just Prime. So, and of course, him becoming the captain and growing a little is always like, imagine Rita Repulsa threw down her wand.
Magic wand, make Algae Rhythm grow.
Since Algae Rhythm is the new captain, now the team got brutal. His team got more brutal.
Oh, yes, they did. And yeah, it's sort of kind of reminiscent of the first movie when the Monstars did a comeback again.
It's almost like they want to kill the Toon Squad. Almost.
More so Algae, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, So then Don comes up with the idea to do a step back move, but that would cause a glitch where Algae wouldn't be able to control the game. But there's one catch. The person that does the glitch will get deleted.
That's like their death.
Almost similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! With the man-eater bugs in there, and he's like, when they had to activate the Horn of Heaven trap, but one person would have to get sacrificed. And of course, Joey went for it. Don't worry about me! And of course, just like Joey, LeBron said, I'll do it. But Bugs intercepts LeBron's pass, and he does the sacrifice.
Yeah, man.
Bugs, no! Kind of like when Mr. Peanut died in the commercial. Like, no, Mr. Peanut, no, don't you do it! No! Maybe he'll be all right.
Oh. And they showed his funeral. We saw the white guy crying more, and then the Kool-Aid guy say, "Yeah," and his tear brought
Mr. Peanut back, the baby Peanut.
Call the baby Peanut.
And
then the baby Peanut start to speak.
And for some reason, he sounded like Ryan Reynolds.
And I'm back. I don't think that's Ryan Reynolds. Might be an impersonator.
Well, he did a pretty good job. And in reference to the first Space Jam, LeBron is able to make the final shot. Instead of stretching his arm, though, his son gives him a second power up in order to make the shot and posterize Algae Rhythm. And the Tunes win, but then Bugs is deleted, like Iron Man's death in Endgame.
We're all back together again. That's all, folks.
Oh. And then seeing how everything's restored back to normal, and also this death of Bugs, sort of similar to Digimon Season 2 with Wormmon's death, dying in the arms of Ken after he was defeated as the Digimon Emperor there. Yeah. So in the end, LeBron gets him and Don. He allows Don to get his dream of being a game designer, And then Bugs returns and what? But Bugs died. How did he come back? Oh. Well, I have another theory. This so what I think probably happened and how he got back. Now he says I'm a tune. I can survive anything. But I think what really happened is probably Pete, Algae Rhythm's assistant, because Pete was starting to feel bad for the tunes in the last half of the game. Pete probably did something to bring Bugs back. And then Bugs and all the tunes came to the real world to hang out with LeBron in order to have their montage for the end credits.
Yeah, I know there's one picture in the montage. You see Foghorn Leghorn looking at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. It's like he's seeing his own death.
That was dark.
What's next? He's gonna go inside of a KFC?
Yeah.
And people will look at him weird, and they will walk slowly towards him with a strange stare.
Like, wow.
And with their
Fork and spoon like Coyote with the Road Runner.
Well, actually, a fork and a knife. They will walk slowly and giving him a strange stare.
Why y'all looking at me like that? I say now, why y'all lick your lips when you look at me now? Why I say now, what you gonna do with that grease?
And they all will dogpile him. They'll be like zombies.
Now I say, y'all don't want to eat me.
They'll be like vicious zombies.
Y'all don't want to. I say, y'all don't want to eat me. I got the bird flu.
Instead of pitchforks and torches, there'll be forks and knives.
Oh boy.
There'll be a hungry mob running towards him. Get him.
Well, yeah, stay away from the chicken places, Foghorn.
Yeah. And if you're a mermaid, stay away from seafood places.
Yeah, because mermaids won't like that.
Yeah.
And merfolk in general. Yeah. Well, so that's the conclusion of the Space Shuttle and the Looney Cinematic Universe and how it all connected in the theory that was mentioned earlier. That was a big one. It's a big one, yeah. It's a good movie. Y'all definitely need to definitely check out the first Space Jam, Looney Tunes Back in Action, and then check this one out. Get all of them for your Looney Tune collection.
I bet the Back in Action is the one that's hard to find.
Oh yeah.
That you have to just go online to find it.
Yeah, that's what I had to do, and I ended up getting it in a pack with Space Jam and Osmosis Jones and a movie called Funky Monkey. Might have to check that out there.
The Funky Monkey.
Yeah, since it's in there.
Heck, maybe it'd be about a dancing monkey.
As long as they don't do it like Kangaroo Jack, where you only got like a few minutes of the talking kangaroo and a dream sequence, and the rest was just following these two Nimrods around. Yeah, if you say the movie is Funky Monkey, I want to see a Funky Monkey throughout that movie. I don't want to just see a few minutes of them. I come to this movie to see a Funky Monkey.
I think the Transformers movies did the same thing. Focus more on the human characters and less of the Transformers.
You mean Bayformers?
Yeah, the Bayformers.
Yep.
Even though the human characters are not interesting to me. Or anyone.
Or even or in some cases they get annoying a little bit.
Yeah, where are the Transformers? We came to see the Transformers.
Third movie had Shia LaBeouf and friends. Today's episode, Sam Witwicky gets a job. Dun 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 dun.
At least with the last two Transformer films, the last two Bayformers, you don't get Shia LaBeouf no more. He's out.
Oh yeah,
out of the picture.
But I think they were getting tired of Michael Bay's work by that point, though. Yeah. Yeah. So, you got anything you want to add real quick on Space Jam there before our time runs out?
Overall, it's a good movie. I understand how LeBron's younger son feels, that he just want to be himself. He just want to do him, like just make video games instead of just playing basketball like his father. And I feel like LeBron is just forcing him to play basketball. And I understand how his son feels because I've been through this, being forced of doing things that I don't want to do in life. But I have to just do it in order to make other people happy.
True. And I think Don mentioned, you know, he did it wasn't that he didn't like basketball, but it was just he wasn't it wasn't like the way his dad and his brother was, you know, like, you know, trying to make big time and all that. Yeah, because that's why he was making his video game a basketball game in the first place. Yeah, he just had a different perspective on it.
Yeah. Same goes if a mother and a daughter, the mother is like a fashion model, and the daughter just want to be a scientist instead of a fashion model like her mom.
Oh, like that mother and daughter, Zach and Cody.
Yeah, like she just want to be a scientist or a doctor.
Or in some cases, like in Tamers, a fashion model having a tomboyish daughter.
Yeah. I think the moral is just be yourself.
And let others be themselves as well.
Yeah, because if you don't let other people be themselves, it will cause conflict.
As we saw in the movie there.
Yeah, and we do get conflict. That same goes with everyday life. Like, you never let me just be myself. I'm just trapped in your world.
And I think Al G was feeling that same way, but one thing Don pointed out, look, I get, you know, you wanna be recognized like I do, but I think the difference between me and you want people to be afraid of you more so than respect you. So yeah. See, Don wanted, you know, to do his own thing, but he wasn't trying to be like Al was and you know scare folk and everything. He just, you know, just let me be me, you know.
And there are some cases people have that fear of not letting to be themselves. They just want to follow other people.
Yep. In some cases, we deprive ourselves of being ourselves at times, depending on certain circumstances. There. Yep. So, then there's that as well. There. Yep.
Like if you allowed to be yourself, you allowed yourself to breathe.
Yep.
And be free.
Like we're doing now. With the whole, you know, both of us, you know, like you've been out with your Bubblina thing the way you want it.
Yes.
You know, working together with this and, you know, other comics as well, just doing our thing, yeah.
Be yourself as well as just have fun in what you do.
Yes, definitely.
It doesn't have to be a competition all the time.
Definitely have fun, yes.
And also, family is also important. Family's supposed to work together, not be against each other.
Exactly. You got that way you can keep your home at peace.
Yeah.
Yep.
You would not imagine families compete against each other.
I would hope not.
It'll be worse if it was mother against daughter, father against son, or husband against wife.
No, we don't need that.
It won't go anywhere.
It'll result in Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh yeah, the family
assassins,
who are assassins who just hate each other, but still living together.
Honey, you still alive down there?
Yeah. I will say that's the strangest couple I ever seen.
Don't want to be in that. Don't want to be in that one.
Heck, if they feel that way about each other, just divorce.
Ooh.
But they want to keep it interesting.
People do some weird things.
Yeah. That's how the world works. And we just have to live with it until we die.
Yep.
That's where the real peace is, when we die.
Yep. I guess we better kind of raggle that battery going on the last sale there. Yeah. It's like, okay, you guys wrap it up now.
Okay.
That was the camera.
I think there's no saying. I think we said too much.
Yeah. Or Thor say, I'm running out of things to say.
Yeah.
So, hope y'all enjoyed this there, our little ramble on that. And be sure y'all like, subscribe, share with your friends, buy some comic books, and also support us on Patreon there. And check out those movies. And we will see you again for our special Valentine feature that should be up either next Saturday or Valentine's Day itself. So, but no later than Valentine's, yeah. So we will have something special for Valentine. I mean, if you've seen my previous videos, you probably have figured out what it is. So, but if you hadn't, you'll find out. So we'll see y'all then.
Bye, everyone.
See ya. See you later.